Travel with Dave. Unruly foreigners. So there's a phrase that they use here. It's unruly foreigners. And what it means is that there's some foreigners that misbehave. And I'm going to give you an example. So in this particular country, in the Philippines, it's very easy to get a visa to stay for a long time. And even to get a retirement visa, it's pretty easy. You could stay for many years. A lot of countries, the tourist visa is only 2 months or 3 months, but over here you can renew up to 3 years. So maybe if I turn this way. So I told this story probably on this channel in January, which was like 4 months ago. I went to a restaurant. The waitresses, they looked at me and then they ran and started clearing tables. One of them did. And I was like, this has happened before. There's nobody here. I'm the only customer. They don't want to serve me. They don't want to take my order. When they look, they got this look on their face like they don't want to talk to me. And I was like, I'm tired of walking in and being treated like this. I have to go and get my own menu. They won't bring it to me if I don't go get it myself. So I didn't know how to contact the owner. I posted a message on the Google restaurant ad saying that the waitresses didn't. I don't know if I posted it just then, but I complained that the waitress, maybe on Facebook, waitress didn't want to take my order. It's happened multiple times. That was at lunch. Dinner time, go to the other restaurant, and the waitresses must have heard that I complained. So it was the same thing. I'm trying to get their attention and they're ignoring me. And there was only one other customer there. And they were literally the other customer was the table next to me. The waitress was looking right at me. She ignored me twice. I have a very loud voice. On the way out, there's a guy who had come in who's sitting there. I saw that guy today. I had lunch with him. Checking the time. The guy, while we were sitting there chatting, he said, "Hey, were you the guy at that restaurant complained about the waitress or something like that?" I said, "Yeah, that was me." And he said, "I was there that night." I remember seeing him as I walked out. And I was telling one of the other guys, I went to this restaurant and, the exact story I already told you. And so then when I got home, no, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to order. And because I was feeling a little sick. I ordered only a small meal. And I wanted to order the other small meal, which was chicken tacos. And I was feeling a little sick. And I was like, you know what? I'm so sick and I'm older and I'm fat. I shouldn't have to chase these waitresses down. I've been waiting for like a half an hour. It was a long time I was waiting there for them to come out, and they're intentionally not coming out. The waitress ignored me twice. She had a big smile on her face. I know I've seen this before. So I walked out the door. I saw him, probably said hello to him. At this time, he has no idea what's going on. I went and I saw one of the waitresses, the nicer one. I paid for my meal, and I wanted to say to her, I'm never coming back to your restaurant again. But you know what? I didn't want to start a fight. I don't like to say bad things to people. And plus, she was a nice woman. But I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm never coming back here again. This is it. There's other restaurants. There's so many other restaurants with good food and good prices that if you get mistreated somewhere, you should just leave. So I go home. So at this point, all I did was complain at the other restaurant. When I show up, they're sleeping, they look at me, and then they run and clear tables, and I'm the only one there. And I'm like, bring me the menu. I want to order. I'm hungry. So I go home and I write a message to the owner. I said, I was at your restaurant. I wrote 4 things. I was at your restaurant. I wanted to order a chicken taco. The waitress ignored me twice. I'm just writing to let you know. Or I'm just writing to notify you. She wrote back, go back to your country. So at this point, the guy that was there says, liar. And he said it so loud. I mean, louder than when my parents used to yell at me. And my parents were so loud. My mother had such a loud voice. Everybody would hear. He says, liar. He said that absolutely did not happen. And he kept interrupting me. By the way, he agreed with me that the first restaurant, he's, oh, the first restaurant, yeah, that's right, because they're inexperienced and blah, 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 blah. No, they happened at both restaurants. He called me a liar. He said that absolutely did not happen. And I said that absolutely did happen. And he said that absolutely did not happen. I said that absolutely did happen. And he said that absolutely did not happen. And we went back and forth like this like 10 times. People usually do it 3 times. And then he hit me. The guy hit me. And when he hit me, I don't remember what happened. Maybe I spoke a few more words, and I said, and maybe I brought my hands down. He hit me hard enough that that the guy's obviously a psycho. And then one of the guys that was at the table got up and left. There were 2 other guys at the table. So the guy was yelling and screaming, and he said something like, "Get the fuck out." But he didn't say it as nicely as I just said it. He said it really loud. And when he said that, I was stunned. And he said, "Get the fuck out." He said it twice. And then I said, "Okay, I will leave." We were in a public park at this time. Just to make it clear. Public park. Now, so I got up and I said to the other guy there, I said, "I'm really sorry about everything that happened, and I hope you guys have a nice day." And then one of the other guys, the guy who jokes about everything, he made some sort of a joke and said goodbye, and then I left. And go home, not that stressed about it, but I am thinking, you meet a lot of psycho foreigners, like the guy from Serbia. I don't remember his name, but there was a guy from Serbia I might have told some stories about. The guy who got angry, he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "To the mall." He said, "You're too old to go to the mall." He starts yelling at me. Like, dude, man, that's where the restaurants are. That's why I'm going there. This isn't the United States. I don't go to the mall to hang out. I go there because that's where the food is. In that town, there wasn't a lot of food. I don't know why the lights keep changing. Oh, that's why. Okay, so when I lived in Cebu City, the guys got angry all the time, especially the ones that like to drink. This guy, I don't know how many beers he had, but there were like a lot of beers in front of him. And the guy who makes the sausage, won't get into that. They usually get angry over politics. They insist that they heard something on TV and it's true. And no matter how much you say, that that's not what happened. And there's lots of videos that show that there's people that are just psycho. And they yell and scream. These are foreigners. And they rob people. They lie to people. And I've met them. The guy who tried to sell me headphones, and then a week later he was gone. He wanted to borrow $100 from me because he knew he was leaving. He was not going to pay me back. You meet a lot of bad foreigners in this country. When I lived in Colombia, I didn't have that experience. I didn't have that experience in Peru. But here, I get it all the time. You meet psychos that they get angry very quickly over stupid things. And this guy, he was angry because I said that the owner told me to go back to my country. And she wrote this long, nasty message. It had like 50 insults. And I'm not exaggerating. That's like how many it was. And I said, "I'll show you this." "You're going to make it up. You're going to make a fake one. You're going to write it yourself." But he didn't say it like that. Like I said, he yelled it, piercing my ears. And because of the visa program being so easy to live here that you get psychotic people here. And when I was riding home, this is what I wanted to say. I was riding home and I realized the police department is literally like a quarter mile down the road. And the guy was yelling so loud that I'm shocked that someone didn't think about calling the police, because they're going to call the police. And say, there's an unruly foreigner. And this guy doesn't really speak English well, but he thought I said the waitress told me to go back to my country. It wasn't. It was the owner, the woman who said she was the owner. Okay, I'm out of time. That's what happens. Unruly foreigners, they're real.